Sam, thank you. A system meant to keep the most vulnerable children safe is failing. 13 Investigates has uncovered troubling details about what led up to the death of a 15-month-old foster child in Pueblo West last year.
That death, the devastating result of red flags that were ignored by the very people tasked with protecting children. Dan Beatty explains in this 13 Investigates special report, Failure to Protect.
Aiden. Is that Sissy?
This is Aiden Seeley. His parents say Aiden was always happy and loved to play with his siblings, and his first word was Da for dad. But at 15 months old, Aiden was cremated at Roselawn Cemetery in Pueblo. Prosecutors say the little boy was murdered.
Aiden Seeley was in the care and custody of DHS at the time he was brutally murdered, and the parents want to know exactly what happened on that fateful day.
Aiden was put into the foster care system as his parents were trying to turn their lives around, hoping to eventually regain custody. Days before his death, they saw their son one final time during a visit at a DHS facility.
They did notice that he was a bit lethargic, that he wasn't the Aiden that they knew. He wasn't this energetic, this happy-go-lucky little boy that they've always known, and they voiced those concerns.
24 hours later, Aiden was unresponsive and rushed to the hospital, where he died on September 18th. Aiden's parents are now begging Pueblo County for answers with the help of their lawyer, Richard Arona.
Looking at these kids that are in foster care, they're the most vulnerable in our society. And when the county comes in and takes responsibility for them, that's a huge responsibility.
Pueblo DHS placed Aiden along with 3 other foster children into this Pueblo West home, the home of 31-year-old Daisy Spinuzzi and her 36-year-old boyfriend, Ramondo Jones. Both were responsible for Aiden's safety and well-being. 2 months later, both were arrested and charged in connection to the toddler's murder and abuse. According to transcripts from a court hearing obtained by 13 Investigates, the extent of Aiden's injuries included a fracture to his arm, a missing toenail, and a broken toe. Prosecutors said Aiden was tortured. Aiden was placed into the home in July 2020, but according to testimony in court, abuse and violence was already going on in the household. Court transcripts show Spinuzzi says she was abused frequently by Jones, both physically and sexually, and often in front of the children. The testimony revealed that when Spinuzzi left the home, the abuse didn't stop. Jones would turn his wrath on the children. One foster child was struck hard enough on the leg that it left a handprint and bruising. An expert psychologist who reviewed the Aiden Seeley case said under oath Spinuzzi had informed DHS of injuries to the foster children, and the response she got back was always the same. Quote, "We know this is a rough bunch of kids. Don't worry about it." 13 Investigates asked Pueblo County DHS about this allegation, and they would not comment on it.
Surprised to hear of the amount of abuse that was taking place in that household. And not only the amount of abuse and frankly torture that was going on in that house, but how it was undertaken for an extended period of time, and how obvious it was to not only those that were living in that house, but the friends and neighbors as to what was going on in that house. And it should have been obvious to the Department of Human Services here in Pueblo.
But Jones shouldn't have even been there, according to county DHS policy. In 2019, a protection order was issued against Jones after he was arrested for domestic violence and other related charges. According to an arrest report, Jones destroyed the couple's home and threatened Spinuzzi's life. Despite the order preventing Jones from contacting or living with Spinuzzi, he found a way back in. When we asked Pueblo County if a domestic violence-related charge would disqualify a person from caring for a foster child, they confirmed to 13 Investigates it would, and they would be unable to be a foster parent. According to court transcripts, DHS designated Jones as a backup caregiver at the home when Spinuzzi left for work.
It's the failings of these policies and procedures, at least adhering to these policies and procedures, that I think is where the problem lies.
Last week, our team reached out to Pueblo County again for an interview with its Director of Human Services, Tim Hart. But before we could get an answer, Hart abruptly resigned on Monday. In his resignation letter obtained by 13 Investigates, Hart said, quote, "It was my full intention to provide ample opportunity for Pueblo County to plan for my succession and for me to end my 23-year career in a positive manner. However, the circumstances have changed, and now I have decided it is in my best interest, and I believe that of the counties, that I modify my retirement date to May 19th, 2021. When we pressed county leaders asking why the accelerated timeline, they declined to provide answers.
What?
Answers Aiden Seeley's family so desperately want. Their attorney is calling on Pueblo DHS to make policy changes, and new leadership in the foster care system could be a first step in the right direction.
This is an issue that can no longer lay in the shadows anymore in our community. It needs to come out. We need to be honest about what's going on, because again, we cannot get this wrong. DHS cannot get this wrong. And at some point, enough's enough. This is not an isolated incident as far as some of the deficiencies that we have found. It seems to be a pattern in practice, and no one seems to be correcting it. It needs to be corrected. It needs to come out into the light in order for it to be corrected.
This afternoon, the Pueblo County Commissioner Chair answered some of 13 Investigates' questions and says steps have been taken to better protect children. The county also issued a statement regarding the Seeley case. You can read that at KRDO.com. 13 Investigates has learned Aiden Seeley's case is not the first time DHS failures led to the death or injury of a child. Our team has uncovered 5 other disturbing cases over the last decade where the system failed the most vulnerable children. What's being done to address the issue and failure to protect? A 13 Investigates special report Monday on KRDO News Channel 13 at 6.